This article came out back in December 7th, 2020. It's by RT, and it says UN warns 2021 will be catastrophic, faces worst crises in history. What do you think they're talking about? I think they're talking about food, man. Famine. That's a Bible prophecy. The head of the World Food Program has made a dire forecast about the months to come, slating catastrophic humanitarian crises for 2021 in what could be the worst year seen in the better part of a century. World Food Program Chief David Beasley sounded the alarm at the United Nations General Assembly meeting on Friday, convened to discuss the coronavirus pandemic and worldwide efforts to blunt its impact. He warned that some 270 million people are now marching toward starvation, and that in some countries, famine is around the horizon. "2021 is literally going to be catastrophic based on what we're seeing at this stage in the game," Beasley said, adding that because we spent $19 trillion, that money may not and will not most likely be available for 2021. Even as economic contractions have already begun. Last night I was introduced to the debt clock, DEBT clock. Check it out, debtclock.org or something like that. But I'm going to put a post on my Instagram or something showing that. But that bitch never goes down. It's steady going up. It's running like a motherfucker. They're running it up. While Beasley said the pandemic and government lockdown policies are driving the disturbing trends, stating the cure could be worse than the disease because of the economic ripple effect. And that's why I know some people are saying, like, do you want to take your chance getting COVID by dying by going out and feeding your family and just keeping the economy going? Do you want to risk that, or do you want to die stagnant? And that's what it seems like they're trying to make us do. He noted that man-made conflict also has a role to play, naming ongoing wars in Syria, Yemen, and South Sudan. We got to end some of these wars. We got to bring some of these wars to an end so we can achieve us sustainable development goals that we so desire, he said. Dubbing the conflicts, health crisis, and looming famine as icebergs in front of the Titanic. I think we got to prepare ourselves. I don't think nothing's going back to normal. It's going to get any better. In August, the World Food Program said the number of people facing malnutrition could spike by 80% by the end of the year, warning of a famine of biblical proportions. Let me say that again. In August, the World Food Program head said the number of people facing malnutrition could spike by 80% by the end of the year, warning of a famine of biblical proportions as millions risk starvation. And while that's happening, famine causes another problem: mass migration. on top of climate change causing people not to be able to grow their crops and stuff. So contribute to the famine, on top of the wars. So you got climate change, mass migration. That's a whole nother problem. UNICEF, meanwhile, predicted that in May, back then, in 118 low and middle income nations, 1.2 million children under the age of 5 could die in the final 6 months, pinning the surge on declining access to medical care due to lockdowns, curfews, and transport disruptions. Folk, I was saying, I think the vegan is the future. All that disease and shit is coming through meat. And they said famine of biblical proportions.